Go ahead and call a meeting to order. If you would, please rise. This time we'll recognize Pastor Stephen Adair with Grace Christian.
Okay, good evening. We pray with me. God, we thank you for this time we can just gather together in this place with each other and with you. And God, in these moments that will come, we pray that your blessings would rest here over each one of us, especially those behind me. God, we pray a shield of protection over all of those who serve this great city in the first line of defense and our first responders that we have here. I pray that you would watch over them every moment that they serve on duty and off. God, we thank you that we have this place to call home. We have a place that we feel safe within to raise our families, to go to work, and to make an honest living. And God, we pray that you would continue to bless the economy of this town and allow it to continue to grow and flourish. But God, tonight I pray that your will would be done in this room, that the words spoken and the decisions made would be in accordance with your will for this city of Odessa, Texas. God, I pray that above all things we would set aside our selfishness, God, and seek you and the goodness of each other in everything. You're the example of that, and we thank you for it. But most of all, we thank you for Jesus Christ. It's in his name that we all pray. Amen.
Amen. Now we have Troop 1908 to present the colors.
Color guard attention, scouts attention, color guard forward march. Color guard halt. Color guard prepare to post the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now honor the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Color guard post the colors. Color guard salute. Color guard reform. Color guard return the post.
Before you young men go too far, let me introduce you. If you would just raise your hand. Gunnar Broughton, Isaac Prieto, Esteban Lopez, Donovan Foster, and Gage Weaver. Can we give them a round of applause? Thank you, and we really appreciate you just taking time to come up here and do this. Thank you. You may be seated. Okay, we do not have any proclamations, awards, or presentations, and we have moved the public comment section from number 11 to this point. If you would like to speak to council, we request that you fill out a card. We're going to limit the speaking for 3 minutes. It's our standard practice. So we have one that would like to speak. We have Pastor Andrew Stevens. With address was not provided. If you would just come forward, please. And on items like this, we can't respond since they're not on the agenda. That's because of the Open Meetings Act. So, and if you would, could you give us your address?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Turner. I'm working at a church, and our church is really located in California and Florida, so I don't have an address locally right now. We're working on a revival mission here in the local area.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for having me tonight. Good evening. My name is Pastor Andrew Stevens. I'm with the Church of Common Good. a missionary. I've been working with the indigent population across the country for a matter of 7 years now. Between the homeless, mentally ill, drug addictions, and things like that are what we deal with in our ministry. When we were passing through Odessa, we stopped at the Walmart there in West Texas, and this is on the Loop Road, not the Walmart here near in the main town, but over on West Loop. And we wanted to get breakfast and supplies. While my wife and children were in the store, I noticed a vehicle that appeared suspicious, had equipment that had surveillance equipment, would typically be seen on a police cruiser looking to identify whether cars had warrants on their tags. I immediately saw this vehicle circling twice around our equipment. And so I stepped out, and what I needed to do was ascertain whether this was targeting vehicles in a lot for theft or if this was a nefarious thing. So I approached the vehicle and attempted to determine whether this person was a threat to my family and property. Called the police after the woman who was driving the car refused to roll down her window, actually engaged the accelerator and tried to hit me. At this point in time, I called the police did not dispatch. They actually notified me that this was a repo car. It was looking for the vehicles repossessed. So at that point in time, I went in to make a complaint through the informal complaint process and grievance process that Walmart set up. So at that point in time, I told you all this leading to the main case that I have at hand. While I was in the store, I asked the manager, at which time it was a woman, for the manager, this woman that was there named Sonia was not an actual manager. She identified herself as a manager. Actually, she was the mother of a gentleman, proprietor or high-end figure at a company called Fat Cat's Towing or Recovery, who was called by West Texas Auto Recovery, who was working with this black car with surveillance. The surveillance caller contacted West Texas Auto Recovery, who came and violently tried to assault me and my missionary, and it was caught on camera. At that point in time, I contacted the police again. Apparently they contacted them at the same time. Police, when I walked out of the building after reporting this to media relations, there was a Sergeant Cullen, I believe his name was. It's a sergeant, large, taller man, I believe it was Cullen. I have it on camera. I'll be happy to send an email with the details on that. He was at the missionary van, IDing my wife, doing normal investigatory work, like investigatory stop. My wife was not involved in any way, shape, or form in this, nor did she have any information, so she was caught off guard, didn't know what was going on. Four total cruisers showed up, and we had, I requested a watch commander because I felt like, as being the complainant in the matter, I was being treated as a perpetrator. And so the watch commander, a lieutenant, showed up in an unmarked vehicle, and we went over the whole thing of what was going on here, and it's not a crime, but I'm the one to contact them. They were too busy speaking with these businesses in the area that were allowing a for-profit to come into a Walmart parking lot to recover vehicles. So that's what's going on now.
Excuse me, your 3 minutes are up.
Thank you very much, Norma. You have a
Yeah,
great
just
day
extend
now.
it,
Thank you
shoot,
so
that way
much.
you can sum it up.
Yes, sir. Beautiful. I'll just sum it up?
Yeah.
So the reason I come here to bring this to your attention is because I've gone through the entire hierarchy, including talking to Mr. Morton, told him my meetings on public record, that there's nepotism going on through the Walmart and the towing agencies that are recovering vehicles without the permission and utilizing public servants to act as private security, it seems like, at this point in time.
And this is your correct phone number on here?
It is, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to address the council? Okay, we will move to the consent agenda.
I would like to take item F and move it to the miscellaneous,
Number
the
eight.
appointment of the boards.
Okay, we have a motion to remove. Do we have a second? Second. Motion and second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That has been moved. Now we need a motion to approve the remaining consent agenda.
So moved.
Second. Motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next, we move to public hearings. We'll open a public hearing to consider the approval of the request by Talon Petroleum Operators. Mr. Brennan.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. The property involved in this request is located northwest of the Old Bankhead Highway and east-south County Road 1305. The site is currently designated future development. It is vacant, and land use in the general area does consist of vacant land. The applicant in this case is the Talon Petroleum Operating Company. They do own the property, and Monty Biggs is their agent in this case. The purpose for the request of original zoning of future development drill reservation would expand an existing drill site for oil and gas well development. This would allow the company to use a larger site to use multiple wells on one location instead of having them spread out to have directional drilling from this site. The proposed original zoning request of the future development drill reservation is not contrary to the land use plan of the city of Odessa or the proposed land uses in this area. The proposed expansion of the drill site is not out of scale with the existing and proposed land uses in the area. At the time of any future residential development in this area, aesthetic enhancements such as fencing and landscaping will be required to be incorporated into the drill reservation as a buffering for any adjacent development and land uses. The Planning and Zoning Commission did give a unanimous approval to this request, and the planning staff does concur with the recommendation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Brindley? If not, this is a public hearing, so we will open up the floor for anyone who'd like to comment on agenda item number 1. Is there anyone who'd like to come forward? Seeing none, we're going to close the public hearing. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Next under bid awards, consider award of bid of the reclamation system alternative water supply, Eastern 338 pump station. Mr. Kerr.
Thank you, Council. We have for your consideration the award of a bid for constructing a reclaimed water pump station up off of Loop 338 north of 191 42nd Street. The bids for this project were opened on January 14th. 3 responsive bids were submitted for this project. The lowest responsive bidder was Edgardo Madrid and Associates in the amount of $1,441,337.70, and the lowest proposed completion time of 90 working days. The engineer's estimate for this project was $1.5 million, so this was within the estimate. The purpose of this project is to install that pump station. It provides an alternative water supply designed for 6,000 gallons a minute. It is in association with our contract with Pioneer, and our sales of water to them is the revenue source that we use for construction of this pump station. This helps to provide greater revenues over the 10 years in that $100+ million revenue project. Maverick Engineering was the design consultant, and we have reviewed the bids and recommend award for the contract to Edgardo Madrid. Any questions?
Any questions?
How long have they been in business?
I believe it's 2 to 3 years.
I did have one question. There's not much difference between 2 of the bids, and one of the bids is local, and I truly believe in using our local people anytime we can. Is it possible to use the local person at this time, or?
Under there are local preference statutes with the state. However, with construction projects of public works projects, the project has to be at $100,000 or less in order for us to exercise that right. We recognize the benefit as well to hopefully have local people that can do the projects. But in this case, we're not allowed.
Okay, so the law would not allow us to do that then? So it has to be under
$100,000.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Any more questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
A second.
Second.
Motion second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kerr. Next on ordinances, consider amending Article 12-2 of the City of Odessa Code of Ordinances, entitled Operation Vehicles. Mr. Long.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Currently, our ordinance provides that the school zones are only active when both the times that are specified in the school zone signs and the beacons are flashing. This would change it to allow the zones to be active when either beacons are flashing or during the designated times.
Okay.
This is our second reading.
Are there any questions for Mr. Long? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So
Second.
A motion and second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next under resolution, consider a Shoal Law Firm facade grant. Ms. Howard.
Mr. Schultz?
Thank you, Council. I'm with Downtown Odessa Inc., and I'm joined here with Jason Scholl with Scholl Law Firm. And we are here to present the facade grant. Scholl Law Firm is located on 323 North Grant Avenue on the corner of 4th and Grant. Circled in the red is the Hotel and Convention Center, and in the yellow circle is Scholl Law Firm. Scholl Law Firm is proposing a business investment of $62,397.39. They are asking a facade investment of $30,000 with a total investment of $32,397.39. Here is a rendering of the proposed facade improvements that they will be doing. If you'll look here, we also have an investment worksheet. Basically, they'll be updating the facade with stone and stucco. They'll be adding canopies, which do follow the design standards of the of downtown Odessa. They'll also be updating tile, lights. They'll be putting up a new sign, and they'll also be doing some painting. Scholl Law Firm has a rich downtown history. It's been many businesses over the years. I believe it's been, I think, 7 years, correct, since you owned the building?
Correct.
Yes. They are, the downtown building facade agreement will have 6 months to complete. The owner estimates it will take about 3 months to complete, so expected in May 2017. Downtown Odessa Design Committee gave their approval on Tuesday, February 7th, and the Odessa Development Corporation Board gave their approval Thursday, February 9th. Are there any questions?
Any questions from council?
It's a good project, for sure.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Okay, if not,
Thank you for joining us in improving our downtown. Appreciate it.
if not, I'll entertain a motion.
Well, I wanted to
Yes.
say that I really appreciate you doing this because it's really going to help everything that we're trying to do down there. So thank you for spending money down there and putting it back in the community. So
Yes, sir.
good job.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion and second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Go to work. Make sure you make the art, do the demolition.
Yeah.
Okay, next under number 5, consider the use of ODC funds for Department of Transportation projects in Ector County. Mr. Kerr.
Thank you again, Mayor and Council. We have for your consideration the use of ODC funds for Department of Transportation projects in Ector County. Attached to this item is information from the mayor explaining the purpose of this agenda and resolution. What this is doing is allowing us to, the transportation in itself for communities is really a vital thing to make it improve and help us grow and do things better. And with these funds being available to the community to use with TxDOT funds, we can compete more readily with TxDOT, other people looking for TxDOT money to do projects. And this will help us to compete much better, get more of our projects done, and stretch our dollars a lot further. And so it's something that I think was really exceptional for us, and we appreciate your consideration.
On each one of these projects, we'll have to come before council and approve on before we will allocate any money. So it's not just out there. It will have to be approved by council. So, are there any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Kirk. Next up, consider Odessa Development Corporation settlement agreements with Klein, Oilfield Equipment, and Permian Tank. Mr. Long.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There was an audit of the Permian Tank Manufacturing and Klein Oilfield Equipment, and it was determined by the Compliance Committee and adopted by OEC to make a payment of $244,035 to Permian Tank and Manufacturing, Inc., which was a diminishment of what they would have been paid had they provided their full number of jobs. The Klein Oilfield Equipment, because they had been given their money up front, due to the calculations for the formula that was in the contract that they adopted, they will owe us $1,693.42, and they have agreed to make that payment. And as I mentioned, both the Compliance Committee and ODC has already previously agreed to these amounts.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Long?
Yes. Who pre-audited these contracts before this was rewarded?
It was Weaver,
We were-
Weaver audited.
They audited this contract before we awarded the money? Was there?
No, not before we awarded it. We did, the city staff had gone through and determined the amount of jobs that were currently in place. And then we used Weaver to determine that they had increased the jobs subsequently to meet the requirements of the contract.
City staff?
It was our auditor, the city auditor, Beth.
Okay, are there any more questions? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Opposed.
Vote is 4-1. Motion passes. Number 7, consider award bid for City Hall renovations. Philip.
Mayor, I'd like to table this.
Okay, we have a motion to table. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion is tabled. Next, we move to appointment of boards. Ms. Grimaldo?
Before she does that, could I talk about considering the appointment of council member for both Filiberto Gonzalez to the Permian Basin Regional Planning Commission? I wanted that moved so it would be down here with the others. But I would like to move that we accept this and that we appoint Filiberto to this position.
What position was that?
Permian Basin Regional Planning Commission. Larry, can we just do it all at once, or do we have to do it individually?
You have to pull it off.
Yeah.
They pulled it off consent.
Yeah,
And
okay.
it needs a
We'll have to be
So
resolution.
we do that and then we do the
Separate
resolution?
motion.
So,
Yeah.
well, making a motion to approve F, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Now appointments of boards. Mr. Grimaldo?
For the Odessa Development Corporation, appoint Gene Collins.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Aye, but I made the motion. Aye.
Second.
Second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next, we move to number 10, deliberate duties of city manager Richard Morton. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we do not go to executive council on this.
Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, raise your hand because I can't see who did. Okay, all opposed?
Aye, I oppose.
Oh, what do you mean opposed?
Opposed to not stay out of executive session. We'll have to have a motion to go into executive session.
Oh, we're going, it's a motion to
This
go
is a
into
motion
executive
not to
session?
Not to go into executive
Not to
session.
go in.
Not to go into the.
I oppose that.
So,
I'll go ahead and pose that
I wanna
too.
go.
okay. So that motion fails. Do we have a motion to go into executive session?
So move.
Got a second?
Okay.
We have a motion and a second to go into executive session. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
That's 3-2. We're going in under section 551.074, and it is 6:25. Go ahead and call the meeting back to order. Do we have a motion to come out of executive session? So moved. A motion and second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Come out at 7:43. No action was taken. We do have one person that would like to speak on the executive session. That's Toby. If you would, please come forward. You'll have 3 minutes. Right there.
Timing's everything. I just like to thank you, Mayor, and the council for all you're doing for the city, and hate to single anybody out, but I especially want to thank Barbara for helping with the hotel project. What a great liaison that she was for the city, and a great asset, you know, for us too. She added a lot to the hotel, and I just think everybody needs to know that. But since I've only got 3 minutes, let me go into hyperdrive here. You know, I'm here on behalf of Sonder and I represent the hotel. And, you know, I'm not a developer. I've been in the pump business for 30 years. But contrary to popular belief, I'm not retired. Everybody seems to think that. I've actually got 36 businesses from Canada to Odessa that I manage now for another company, and manage about 700 employees. So, with that being said, I've gotten very fond of Richard, dealing with him in this process, because I know managing the city is much like what I do and how difficult it can be. And I've gotten a sense of admiration for it. I remember probably 15 years ago when Richard came. Was it 15 years? And I also remember David Turner talking about this downtown project. It was a dream of his, and he talked about it even then. And I don't know where he got it. He must have brought it here. But, and that was back when he still had color in his hair. So it's been a while. But
Is that what's going to happen to me?
It will. But it's become a reality, you know, and that's what I think is so great. And I just wanted you guys to know, in all of my business dealings, and I actually get to make 8-figure business deals, and I deal with a lot of people at high levels, and I've never dealt with anyone that had more integrity than Richard Morton, and he is a very, very good representative of this city, and I just wanted to point that out to everyone to let you know that I hope when y'all were in session, we don't know what you were meeting about, but I hope it was to give him a raise. So anyway, that's all I had to say.
Thank you very much, Toby. That concludes the agenda. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So
Second? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.